Attention, members of the House of Representatives. The House will convene in 5 minutes. All persons not entitled to the House floor, please retire to the gallery. Thank you.
The House will be in order. Members will be in their chairs. We shall be led in prayer today by Wayne Paget, the assistant doorkeeper. Members and guests are asked to refrain from starting their laptops, turn off all cell phones, and rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Paget.
Let us pray. Lord, as we prepare for session today, we ask for freshness of your Spirit to quicken our thinking, that out of confused issues may come simplicity of plan, that out of fear may come confidence, that out of hurry may come deliberation, and that out of frustration may come guidance. Let us get to work not head first, but heart first. May we be able to disagree without being disagreeable, to differ without being difficult, to be honest without tension, and to be frank without offense, in an atmosphere of team spirit. These things we ask. Amen.
We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Representative Ugaste. Roll call for attendance. Leader Gable is recognized to report any excused absences on the Democratic side of the aisle.
Speaker, let the record show that Representative Ammons, Andrade, Evans, Guerrero, Cuellar are excused today.
Representative Severin is recognized to report any absences on the Republican side of the aisle.
There are no excused absences today. We're all ready to do the work. Let's get ready to... No, we're not going to say that.
It's going to be that kind of a day. Have all recorded themselves who wish? Mr. Clerk, please take the record. There being 114 members answering a roll call, a quorum is present. Mr. Clerk, rules report.
Rules report. Representative Gable, Chairperson Committee on Rules, reports following committee action taken on October 25th, 2023. Rex be adopted before the floor is Former 1 to House Bill 4148. Introduction of resolutions. House Resolution 460, offered by West Costa Howard, is referred to the Rules Committee.
On page 2 of the calendar, under the order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 408, offered by Representative Nichols. Representative Nichols is recognized.
All right. The rep is in the house. Where these guys at, man? You guys stand up. So I'd like for everybody to be quiet and turn their attention to the gallery. You got young people down here. Y'all know when you got young people down here, pay attention to them, because these are young people. These are great, great young men from our district. State of Illinois House of Representatives, 103rd General Assembly. Everybody listen? All right. Whereas the members of the Illinois House of Representatives wish to congratulate the Burbank National Little League Senior Division on its recent achievements, and whereas the Burbank National Little League is a nonprofit youth organization and a charter member of the Little League Baseball and Softball, and whereas the Burbank National Little League has won over 80 Little League championships from the district level to the national level over the past 35 years. And whereas the Burbank National Little League Senior Division won the Illinois Central Region Championship in 2022, competing in the Senior League Baseball World Series in 2022. And whereas the Burbank National Little League Seniors Division earned repeat victories as the Illinois Central Region Champions in 2023. Again, competing in the Senior Little League Baseball World Series, there be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly of the State of Illinois that we are congratulating the Burbank National Little League Senior Division on its recent achievements and wish the team continued success, and be it further resolved that a suitable copy of this resolution be presented to all members of the Burbank National Little League Senior Division as a symbol of our respect and esteem. We all give a round of applause to these amazing young people in our chamber today. I'm so glad they had a chance to come down to your house. This is your house. This chamber belongs to you. Continued success, man. And for you guys that's moving on, we're going to keep our eye on you and keep swinging, man, and you can do anything you put your mind to. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Love you. Have a great time.
Representative Nichols moves for the adoption of House Resolution 408. All those in favor say aye, opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Representative Fritz.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the House, last night at 10:47 p.m., Illinois State Trooper Cody Green was shot here in Springfield following an incident with a suspect in a Chicago homicide. This is personal to me because Trooper Green is engaged to my legislative aide here in Springfield, Madison Kinzel. Yesterday, I spent my morning talking to Madison about the engagement photos that they'd just taken and about the wedding plans that they have. I spent my morning this morning talking with Madison as she sits with her fiance in the ICU. During that time, I thought about what I wanted to say here today. One thing I keep thinking about is how angry that I am. I'm angry at the needless violence against our law enforcement officers. I'm angry at people who scream to defund the police. And more than that, I'm angry at this assembly is dead set on making their jobs as hard as possible without protecting them. When does it end? When does the crime wave from Chicago's soft on crime prosecutors end? When do we finally decide to back our law enforcement officers who put their lives on the line each and every day for us? We can't go on like this any longer. We need to start prosecuting criminals and supporting law enforcement. We need to ensure that they have proper funding, that they are fully staffed, and that they know that their government unequivocally supports their efforts to make their state a safer place. I call on every single legislator here today to really think about the world that they want to live in. Do you want to live in a world that advocates for the rights of criminals? Or do you want to live in a world that protects those who protect us? Because I know what kind of a world I want to live in. But for some of us in this room, refuse to do anything to make that world a possibility. It's time to wake up, people, because someday you'll get the call that I got this morning, and it may be your own loved one. My thoughts and prayers are with Trooper Green, the state police, and most of all, our dear colleague, Madison. Madam Speaker, I ask that the body take a moment of silence.
A moment of silence. Thank you, Representative Fritz. Chair recognizes Representative Carroll. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
I'd like to introduce to you my page for a day. Her name is Claire Eisenstadt. She is a constituent of mine and a high school student from Glenbrook North High School. She is the great-granddaughter of Holocaust survivors and a tireless fighter for anti-Semitism. She's involved with several Jewish youth groups in our area, including the American Jewish Committee, who are represented here today. I believe everyone is standing up over there, so if we can give her family and friends a round of applause, I'd appreciate that.
Welcome to Springfield.
Thank you. Claire and her work went on to found the Jewish chapter of Young Judea, which she currently serves as the role as president. Now more than ever, we need educators and organizers like Claire who are willing to do the important work of teaching people about the dark history of anti-Semitism and what happens when bigotry is allowed to fester. Education is the light that beats back the darkness of ignorance and hate. We also must remember to be compassionate and love one another as our own, especially amidst the tragedies that we are seeing today. Again, please join me in welcoming Claire and her family here to Springfield, and thank you, Claire, for all your work combating anti-Semitism and educating the world about its evils. Thank you very much.
Chair recognizes Leader Winhurst. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Point of personal privilege, please.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's my honor and privilege today to have the Dean of the SIU School of Law, Dean Camille Davidson. I'm a proud SIU law graduate from the year 2000, and this year the Southern Illinois University Law School is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Earlier this spring, we approved and passed H.R. 297, which recognized all of the accomplishments and great success that has occurred with the school and its alumni. So if everyone here could join me in welcoming the Dean and representatives from the law school. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Chair recognizes Representative Swanson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I've got a couple pages here with me today and very honored to have both of them here, longtime family friends of the Swanson family. First, I want to introduce Tradenhire. Traden's a senior at Weathersfield High School. Her activities in schools include softball, cheerleading, golf, FFA, National Honor Society, Key Club, Yearbook, Student Council, and Phi Theta Kappa. Very involved in her community, she does tutoring and volunteering for the Key Club with her school. She's on the Student Council, National Honor Society, and she's currently the two-term president of her FFA chapter at Cambridge Schools, or Kewanee Weathersfield Schools. Her family's an 8th-generation family farmer in Henry County, and I learned they just got their crops harvested. And she resides near Kewanee, Illinois, the Hall capital of the world. At the end of her high school senior year this year, she will not only graduate with her high school diploma, but she'll also have her associate's degree from Blackhawk College. Quite a feat to have both. So I'd like to welcome Traden today. Thank you, Traden. And with Traden is her older sister, Daisy. She's a sophomore at Augustana College. Her major is psychology and business administration with a focus on marketing. Her activities in school include, she is on the Augustana College cheerleading team for both football and basketball. So not only a student, but an athlete also. She's a member of the Augustana Republican Club, and her special recognition, she was on the Dean's List this past spring semester at Augustana College. She was a graduate of Weathersfield High School and graduated as valedictorian of her class. Their parents include Dan and Tracy Hire. So welcome to you too, Daisy. Thank you.
Welcome to Springfield. On page 2 of the calendar, under order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 395, offered by Leader Lilly. Leader Lilly is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. On today, I am truly honored to present this Thank you, Madam Speaker.
There you go.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On this day, I am truly honored to present this resolution on behalf of my friend, my family, Coach Ping. Whereas the members of the Illinois House of Representatives wishes to recognize and celebrate the birth date of the late Gene Coach Ping Pingatory on October 25th, 2023. And whereas Coach Pingatory was born on October 25th, 1936, and passed away on June 26, 2019. He was raised in Cicero. He graduated from St. Mel High School in 1954. He earned his Bachelor of Arts in History from Loyola University of Los Angeles, known today as Loyola Marymount University, in 1958. And whereas following his graduation, college graduation, Coach Pingatory returned home and began working as a freshman basketball coach at St. Joe's High School in Westchester in 1960. The coach's first academic year, he became the head coach varsity of the varsity team at St. Joe's High School boys basketball, the Chargers, in 1969. He served as the head coach for 51 years and most successful basketball coach in Illinois High School Association history. He further served the school in a number of roles, including social study teacher, director of recruitment, assistant principal, dean of students, the director of development, acting principal, the director of building grounds, the special events coordinator, and the alumni director. He had a lot to offer his community and his school. Whereas under Gene's Pingatory guidance at St. Joseph High School's boys basketball team was one of the best in the state, winning 34 regional championships and 13 sectionals, advancing to the state finals 6 times, and winning 2 state championships, Class 2A in 1999 and Class 3A in 2015. He possessed a record of a total of 1,035 wins and only 386 losses in his career, becoming the only coach in Illinois to accomplish 1,000 wins in 2017, making him one of only 15 coaches in the nation who had that esteem. Whereas Gene Pingatory received many accolades for his work, including being named Educator of the Year by the Illinois State Crime Commission and Police Athletic League of Illinois in 2008, Coach of the West for the McDonald All-Star American Game in Chicago in 2011, Coach of the Year by the Central Official Association in 2016, and Coach of the Year by the Pioneer Press and Suburban Life in, listen to this, 1978, 1979, and 1999. And again by the Suburban Life in 1981, 1987, 1988, 1992, 1995, 1999, and 2004. He also received the Ali Hassan Award for the Central Official Association in 2005, the De La Salle Award that service for leadership in the community from Lewis University in 2010. And not to mention the 2018 Morgan Wooden Award for Lifetime Achievement in Coaching High School Basketball from the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Whereas Gene Pingatore was affectionately known as Coach Ping, and he became nationally known for his starring role in the critical acclaimed 1994 documentary Hoop Dreams. His leadership and guidance positively impact an immeasurable number of students. Whereas Gene Pingatore was the son of the late Frank and Anita Pingatore, the brother of the late Sarah Pingatore, the father of Lisa, the grandfather of Aaron, Kelly, and Jack, the fiance of Jill Oakley, the uncle of Frank, Nick, and the late Robert, and the great uncle and grandfather or godfather of cousins and friends of many. Therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly of the State of Illinois that today we recognize and celebrate the late Gene Pingatore's birthday, October 25th, 2023. And we remember the legacy he created and the many lives he touched during his lifetime. And be it further resolved that a suitable copy of this resolution will be passed to the family and friends of Gene Pingatore as an expression of our esteemed love and respect. And with that, we have his family and friends here to be recognized in the speaker gallery. Can we please stand? Can we have Jill Oakley, his fiance, his late fiance, Coach Bill Riley, who coached with him for millions of years. Yes, it seems like millions of years to me. And as you can see, we wear the red for Red Chargers on today because we are celebrating and recognizing the life and the commitment of Coach Ping to his community, to his family, and of course, to the state. We want to say, go Chargers, St. Joe's will live forever, remembering our loved one, Coach Ping. Thank you.
Representative Lilly moves for the adoption of House Resolution 395. All those in favor say aye, opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Leader Spain. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's my privilege to introduce my page for the day, Will Rumbold. Will, get on the camera here. I'll have to stand up a little taller to fit you in. Will is a senior at Stark County High School. He is active in the student council. He plays golf, baseball, obviously basketball. He's involved in Bible class at the Apostolic Christian Church of Princeville. And Will is interested in law, in politics, attending law school. And you can tell his commitment and interest in Illinois state government because this is the second time this year that he has been a page for us in the Illinois House of Representatives. So he was a page for Representative Weaver back in the spring, and he's returned with us here in veto session. So please give a warm Springfield welcome to my page today, Will Rumbold.
Welcome back, Will. Nice to see you. Representative Yang Rohr, for what reason do you seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a point of personal privilege, please.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce the body to my page for the day, Talia Owens. Talia is the daughter of Logan Owens, my former district office intern and also a current member of the Research and Appropriations staff. So Talia is 6 years old, and she is a student at Sandburg Elementary School here in Springfield. Her favorite subject is math. She is she's super excited about gymnastics. She participates a lot in the YMCA. She loves animals, especially dogs. And when she grows up, she wants to be just like her mom, working in policy and budget. Let's give Talia a warm welcome.
Welcome to Springfield. Representative Didich, for what reason do you seek recognition?
A point of personal privilege, please.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We have a very special guest in the gallery today. His name is Lewis Whitehead. Lewis, could you stand up? Lewis has traveled here all the way from Scotland to observe the democratic process in Illinois. Now, Lewis doesn't know this. I actually had my honeymoon in Scotland. They have something quite amazing there. There's this highway where if you drive down this highway, out of nowhere comes the most enormous, magnificent statues of horses that you've ever seen. And it was a memorable experience, maybe something we could think about doing in Illinois. But please give Lewis a very warm welcome to Springfield.
Welcome to Springfield, Lewis. On page 2 of the calendar, under order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 409, offered by Representative Marin. Representative Marin is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, it's an honor for me to present Resolution 409 to honor someone who was very, very special to me personally. But as much as he meant to me, he meant even more to my district and to the entire state of Illinois. What can you say about Bill Black? Bill Black served in this body from February of 1986 when he was sworn in to replace his friend and mentor, Harry Babe Woodyard, in the 104th District that I now represent, until his retirement in 2010. Bill Black, we lost him on September 9th, and we truly lost a giant in Illinois government. There's not a day that goes by when I'm in Springfield that I don't hear legendary stories about the things that Bill Black did on this floor. And let's say they're very colorful stories. You could say that Bill Black mastered the art of the Mike Bost outburst before Mike Bost. He did that stuff before it was cool to do that stuff, before the advent of the internet, before social media. But as a young man, as a boy who was interested in politics growing up in Vermilion County, I used to watch the nightly news and I would see Bill Black speaking forcefully for Vermilion County, for Danville, speaking passionately. And to us in Vermilion County, he was our hero. He was the guy that was fighting for the little guy. He was fighting against the machine. He was making sure Springfield didn't forget about Danville. And his story was quintessential Danville. Came from humble beginnings. His family had a small business. He grew up and got an education degree and became a school teacher and worked his way up through the political system and became state representative. I truly have to say it was one of the coolest experiences of my life, getting to watch him as a young boy, this larger-than-life hero figure for our area, and then over the last 10 to 15 years, getting to know him personally and calling him a friend. I think it's a testament to Bill and to his memory that people thought of him the same way on the day that he died as when he was here representing them in Springfield. In this day and age when attention spans are so short, and with social media and the internet, once you step out of the limelight, people forget about you 5 minutes later. But people remember Bill and the impact that he made. When I first ran for this position in 2018, Bill had been retired for 10 years, and we had decided to meet and get together for lunch at a local restaurant so we could talk about the campaign. And I got there first before he did. And I can remember at the time, I thought I was running a really successful campaign. I was everywhere. I was at every event. I was knocking doors. I was on the radio. I was on television, in the newspaper, on social media. And I'd just been county board chairman for 4 years. And I was really aggressive at getting my name out in the news cycle. I thought everybody knew who I was. So I get to this restaurant, and I got there before Bill did. And so I kind of tried to work the room, and I got a real lukewarm response. And, you know, people would look up from their lunch and think, who is this guy? I just want to be left alone so I can eat my lunch. And So I kind of sulked back in the corner and sat at the back of the restaurant and waited for Bill to get there. When Bill walked in, the room lit up. And it literally took him 15 minutes to walk from the door to the back of the room because every single person in that restaurant stood up and greeted him and shook his hand and had some kind of personal exchange with him. And it hit home to me right then the kind of impact, the kind of legend that Bill Black was 8 years after he retired from the legislature. You know, I think it's really important at a time when people have lost faith in government, when people think government is some faraway entity that doesn't care about them anymore. Almost every week when I'm back home in my district, I get stories from people about how they are so proud that they worked on some piece of legislation with Bill Black. And we're not talking about some small, insignificant technical changes. We're talking about impactful things that still affect education or small business in a positive way. If I've heard one of those stories, I've heard 100 of those stories. What a better way to install faith in government than to make people part of the legislative process, to make them feel like they have an impact and that they have a role in fixing some of the problems that we face. I know many of us in this body hold constituent service as a very high priority. I know I do, and it's one of the most rewarding parts of this job. But I can honestly say that I never had a choice when I came into office because that is what the people of the 104th District expected. For years, if you had a problem, you went to see Bill Black. It didn't matter what it was. And almost always, Bill got those problems solved. A few years ago, we decided to change location in my district office. And it was the district office at the time that Bill had had probably his entire time that he was in the legislature. And Bill was somewhat a hoarder of documents, of records. And so we had 2 rooms full of file cabinets, chock full of files, paper files, and literally thousands of files of constituent issues. And in every one of those files, there was a personal handwritten letter, a copy of a personal handwritten letter in Bill's own handwriting about the issue and how Bill was going about resolving the issue and how important it was to him. And I was blown away that this person that was in the limelight, that was so busy, had taken that amount of time to address each and every one, thousands of issues personally. To his family, his wife Sharon, his kids and grandkids, it could not have been easy to share him with all of us all those years. But I hope you understand and realize the kind of impact that he had on all of us, on the 104th District, on Danville, Vermilion County, and the impact that he had on the state of Illinois. He was truly a giant in Illinois state government. You know, in our little city of Danville, we've been blessed to be the home of many giants. We were the home of Dick and Jerry Van Dyke, Gene Hackman, Bobby Short, astronaut Joe Tanner, U.S. Speaker of the House Uncle Joe Cannon, Supreme Court Justice Rita Garman, and we were the home of Bill Black. And thank God we were. Godspeed, Bill. We love you. We're going to miss you. Madam Speaker, I respectfully ask for passage of House Resolution 409 in honor of a giant of a man, Representative William Bill Black of Danville.
Representative Merrim moves for the adoption of House Resolution 409. All those in favor say aye, opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Representative Hirschauer. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I wanted to take a quick moment to introduce a special guest, Leland Pan. Leland is a sophomore at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. She's studying political science and communications. Thank you. Leland is extremely active in her community. She interned and volunteered with Save the Children for 6 years and is a passionate children's health advocate. She is also a dedicated disability rights advocate, and alongside a rigorous course load, her plate is full. Leland was an intern with me in the summer of 2022, and this fall she came back as a Running Start Fellow. Running Start is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that trains young women like Leland to run for office. Illinois' own Congresswoman Lauren Underwood is a distinguished alumni of the program, and I have no doubt that Leland will follow in her footsteps. Leland will be traveling to Washington, D.C. in a few weeks for the culmination of her prestigious program, but today she gets to see how a well-functioning House is run. Let's give Leland a warm welcome.
Welcome to Springfield. Chair recognizes Representative McLaughlin. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
Thank you. And it's good to see you after spring break or summer break. I rise to speak about a program that we haven't talked much about here in the last day and a half, Invest in Kids. I know we've got a number of advocates upstairs for this program. The one thing I've learned in my short 3 years here in the General Assembly is how we do math in Springfield. And I've come to understand that how we do math is the teachers' unions and their organizations incent politicians in this chamber and others to support student funding for public education in Illinois. In my district, I've heard from many on the other side of the aisle how we're defunding schools. I just want to make sure we understand what greater than means. In Chicago public school system, per child spending in 2020 was $17,000. Thank you.
Excuse me, Representative. Members, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. $17,000 in 2020. Now it's at $29,000 per student in 2023. That's actually greater than, not less than. Their test scores, unfortunately, have gone in the opposite direction. The governor and many of my friends on the other side of the aisle will boldly announce their support for freedom and choice on many issues, and for equity and equitable opportunity. Why not the freedom and choice for underprivileged children to have the best possible outcome in education? Where's the morality and the fairness that I hear from the other side as it relates to these children? And by the way, these scholarships don't see color, religion, ethnicity. What they see is an opportunity for someone to succeed. The parents want these choices. You guys know the numbers, and many of you have spoken to me outside of this chamber in support of this bill. 22,000 students waiting, with about 9,000 participating. We've got a rainy day fund, I understand, here in the state of $1 billion. Yet we're griping over $75 million to help the most underprivileged children in the state. That, my friends, is a morality issue. The money donated to politicians who seek to sabotage this Invest in Kids program speaks loud and clear to what's wrong with Springfield. And this is the only math that matters at times with these self-interested groups and self-serving legislators who can accurately count their support when they run for office. Mr. Speaker, I humbly ask you, sir, and I hope you're listening, and I know you do, that my bill 4105 be taken out of rules that will allow this successful evidence-based program of the Invest in Kids Act that both sides of this aisle supported for so long successfully to be taken without a political sunset provision. We need to stop demonizing underprivileged families that want to get their children out of failing public schools, and we need to prioritize this now. We have the money to do it. We have the support to do it. Let's do it today. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Chair recognizes Representative Stava Murray. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Point of personal privilege, please.
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have with me my page for a day, Riley Monroe, who is joined by her father, Lauren Monroe, in the gallery. Riley is a junior at Downers Grove South High School, a member of the varsity volleyball team, and also involved in the DECA Club. Her favorite subject is history. She's excited to attend college where she hopes to major in either political science or biology. Please help me welcome her to the House floor today.
Welcome to Springfield. Under the order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 394 offered by Representative Kifowit. Representative Kifowit is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Resolution 394 declares November 10th, 2023 as Marine Corps Day. And it's the Marine Corps birthday, so if the body would indulge, I apologize my screen wasn't up. I can tell you all about the Marine Corps birthday as a member of the Marine Corps that I served in and all the things that I did overseas, but the Marine Corps has a proud tradition. Hold on one second. My apologies. My system isn't working in pulling up the resolution. Can you come back to me?
I sure can. Thank you, Representative. Under the order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 368 offered by Representative Kiker. Representative Kiker is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to recognize October 13th, 2023 as Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day in the state of Illinois.
Members, please.
This resolution signifies our commitment as a state to raising awareness about metastatic breast cancer and, more importantly, to honor the strength and resilience of those that have suffered from this disease. As we all know, breast cancer is a very formidable adversary that impacts millions of lives in our country and individuals worldwide each year. It's left an indelible mark on countless lives, affecting not only those that are diagnosed, but as we all know, the families and friends of those that are battling. Metastatic breast cancer in particular presents a unique set of circumstances because it's a stage of the disease where the cancer cells have spread to other parts of the body, often making it more difficult to fight and defeat this awful scourge. The importance of raising awareness for metastatic breast cancer not only lies in recognizing the medical challenges posed by metastatic breast cancer, but also in celebrating, and I cannot understate, the bravery and determination of those who fight it head on. Their journeys are marked by courage, hope, and an unwavering spirit as they navigate the side effects and uncertainties. Through House Resolution 368, we acknowledge the urgency of addressing metastatic breast cancer and the need for continued research and awareness within the state of Illinois. As we weigh this issue, let us remember those who have fought valiantly, have lost their lives to metastatic breast cancer. Let us offer encouragement to those who are currently engaged in this battle, offering them strength, solace, a hug, and sometimes a shoulder to cry on. Let us recognize those around them, the caregivers, the medical experts, the families, and the advocates as they work tirelessly to improve what their loved one is battling. By designating October 13th, 2023 as Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day for the state of Illinois, we stand here and we reaffirm our commitment to making sure that we move forward in helping those suffering through it. And together, we can make a difference in the lives of those that are affected by breast cancer through our collective efforts. And we can strive for a future where no one has to endure the pain and suffering caused by this devastating disease. In closing, I appreciate the unanimity. I appreciate everyone rising to recognize the battle that so many of our fellow citizens have waged. God bless, Godspeed, and let's find a cure. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Under the order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 394, offered by Representative Kifowit. Representative Kifowit is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My apologies from before. Again, this declares November 10, 1775 was the birth date of the United States Marine Corps. The Continental Congress authorized the formation of 2 battalions of Marines in Philadelphia, beginning what is the basis of the Marine Corps. Tun Tavern is our favorite place to be. The Marine Corps has been protecting Americans and their freedom for 248 years. And we serve with distinction in all wars in which the United States has been involved. The United States established a position of world leadership, and the Marines has proven themselves as dedicated professionals willing to defend the lives and rights of Americans and our allies of freedoms around the world. Pretty much since the formation of Marines, the term Marine has always been associated with us. I know the Army has the soldiers and the Air Force has the airmen, but Marines are just Marines. And so we are proud of this tradition. We are proud of our tradition. And November 10th is the Marine Corps birthday, and I wanted to bring it to the body of this with this distinction. Also, I've known several Marines that have lost their lives with regards to their service, some of them personally, and so it is my honor to present this today as well. So with that, on November 10th, everybody can wish me a happy birthday, because it's my birthday on November 10th, so every year, and I just wanted to again, being the only Marine in the General Assembly, represent. So thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, members. Chair recognizes Representative Hallbrook. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. A point of personal privilege, please.
Please proceed.
Thank you. So today we have a group from Effingham County. I would like to recognize a large group of students, parents, grandparents, school administrators from Sacred Heart Grade School and St. Anthony Grade School and High School in Effingham. They're here to support the Invest in Kids program. They hope to meet several of you before they leave this afternoon. And these, of course, I also want to recognize my colleagues, Representative Niemerg and Wilhauer, as they share Effingham County. They may want to say a few comments about this group, but let's give this group from Effingham a great Springfield welcome. Thank you.
Welcome to Springfield. Chair recognizes Representative Reich. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Point of personal privilege, Madam.
Please proceed.
They say the wheels of justice grind exceeding fine, but they do grind. Last week before last, up in McHenry County, a certain amount of justice was given to a young 6-year-old boy who died in 2019. We all remember the story of A.J. Friend. He was murdered by his parents, convicted of murder. But what also happened was the child welfare agents, child welfare specialist who was in charge of the case for the Department of Children and Family Services was brought up on charges of child endangerment and reckless conduct, as was his supervisor. 2 weeks ago, a judge in McHenry County rendered his decision on the case. He found the child welfare specialist guilty of child endangerment on 2 counts of child endangerment. He found the supervisor not guilty, not because he didn't think he deserved it, but because he couldn't prove when the supervisor knew what was going on or what he knew and when he knew it. But the fact remains is that for the first time in American history, a government employee charged with child welfare has been found guilty of child endangerment here in Illinois, in McHenry County. In his final remarks before he rendered his decision, The judge said this is a young child who was failed by every adult he ever came into contact with. The mother who murdered him, the father who buried him in an unmarked grave along a country road, the child welfare agent who was more interested in checking boxes on a form than looking at the evidence of his own eyes and doing something to get that child out of harm's way, the supervisor who sat silently throughout the entire trial and did nothing to try to defend the fact that he had failed this child as well. But what the judge said at the end of his comments is, I think, even more damning. He said the adults that failed this child include the Department of Children and Family Services. They are the ones also who are responsible for what happened ultimately to this child. I didn't say that. The judge said that on the bench to their faces. We just learned yesterday that the governor has proposed a new state agency dealing with child education, early childhood learning. And ironically, he's removing the daycare licensing function and responsibility from DCFS to put it into this new agency. Now, I've been calling for that for months. I don't think DCFS has any business doing this or many other things, because it can't do what it is supposed to do, and that is take care of the children of this state. It would have been nice if we had known that this was going on. If you read CapVax this morning, you see a little addendum saying that this has been in the process for quite some time. None of us over here knew anything about it. Don't have a clue as to what's in it. Don't know who's going to run it. Don't know what it's going to do. It's going to take daycare licensing out of DCFS, and that is, in fact, an improvement. But the governor also said that, I'll back up. We've been dealing with DCFS and JCAR for the past 6 months, too, dealing with rules, dealing with child teachers in classrooms, the failure and the inability of daycare centers to find adequate staff. But DCFS wrote a series of rules that are now in place because they ran out the clock, and without rules, these daycare centers don't know how to act. Were they consulted? No. I spoke this morning with the head of ILDOC, which is the Illinois department that, or agency that represents daycare centers here in Illinois, and I was informed that no, we knew nothing about this until the governor made his announcement yesterday. Now, the governor's comment was the fact that ILDOC was more interested in putting unqualified people in charge of daycare classrooms, which could not be further from the truth. So I'm calling on the governor from the floor of the Illinois House to say, listen, if this is the way this agency is going to be constituted, if we're going to end up with an agency that is designed and everything by the echo chamber that gave us the 3-hour rule that we had foisted upon us, if we don't have some sort of accountability, both in this agency and the Department of Children and Family Services, nothing's going to change. If A.J. Friend's life meant anything, it has to mean that we're willing to do what we have to do to reform this agency and get it on its right track. I know they're looking for a new director, and I hope to God that the governor has the strength to go out of this state and find somebody who's willing to look the governor in the eye and say, this is not going to be run this way if you want me as your director. Child welfare belongs in under local jurisdiction. There are states that have models that we can use to put child welfare within the context of multidisciplinary teams of cops and doctors and teachers and other people who are charged with seeing abuse and neglect, who see it all the time. But if what we have is a state agency that comes in on top of that and is more interested in filling out a form in order to cover its own ass than it is to understand what it is to take care of kids in this state, in their own communities, then damn it, why are we here? Why are we here if we're not willing to protect the most vulnerable among us by doing something different than it's been done for the past 25 years? Ronald Reagan once said about the Soviets, trust but verify. Well, tell you what, I'm not going to trust, but I'm certainly as hell going to verify. Every single thing that goes on with this agency, this new agency, I want to know about it. And I think every one of us here should want to know about it, because there isn't one of us who doesn't have a case in our own districts where this agency has fallen on its face and kids have been harmed as a result. It's up to us. It's up to us. I'm asking for your help. Join me. Thank you.
On page 3 of the calendar, under the order of resolutions, we have House Resolution 445, offered by Representative Duplique. Representative Duplique is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Point of personal privilege.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Today I am here to honor and give recognition to one of the middle and working classes' most tireless, dedicated, and hardworking fighters, the legendary William McNary. William McNary. Please join me in celebration of William's retirement after 38 years. Throughout his career, William has been on the front lines of numerous issues, from making taxes fairer and ensuring affordable health care for all to reforming our out-of-date campaign finance laws. William has done it all. He has played an important role in national history by serving as the speaker for the then candidate, President Barack Obama, the first Black president in our nation's history. He also served as the first president of U.S. Action, a D.C.-based advocacy group that is focused on passing legislation that improves the lives of working and middle-class families throughout our country. Most recently, he has served as the legislative chair of the Responsible Budget Coalition and the director of Citizen Action Illinois. Both organizations have fought tirelessly to ensure that our state's finances stay on track and our dollars are prioritized to go towards those with the greatest need. Additionally, he also serves on the boards of the Center for Tax and Budget Accountability and the Environmental Law and Policy Center. During election season, he has worked with the Rainbow Push Coalition to invigorate voting in the Black community. And what is perhaps most impressive about Mr. McNary is the fact that he did this and much more, all while being married, I know his wife, and raising 6 wonderful children. I wish him nothing but the best in his future, and I want him to enjoy his retirement. He deserves it, even though we will all miss him. Again, please join me in congratulating William McNary on his retirement after a lifetime of service to the American people and the people of Illinois. Please stand. He's in the speaker's gallery. Please stand, Mr. McNary.
Congratulations, Mr. McNary. Well deserved. Chair recognizes Representative Syed.
To the resolution. Well, to William, really. In the short 9 months I've spent here as a legislator, you have been such a beacon of joy. And I'm very excited for you to embark on your next journey, but selfishly, I am very sad. I'm sad for myself and I'm sad for Springfield. because you certainly will be missed. And everyone knows there is no one in Springfield like William McNary. And there's no one in the world, quite frankly, like William McNary. You are a gem, and I feel so fortunate to have worked with you. Thank you for all the lessons you have taught me. Thank you for reminding me that justice delayed is not justice denied. It is just justice delayed. And I know I'll remember many of these lessons in the work I do. Thank you, William.
Representative Duplique moves for the adoption of House Resolution 445. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Representative Weber. For what reason do you seek recognition?
Point of personal privilege, Madam Speaker.
Please proceed.
Thank you. I'd like to bring the Chamber's attention to a friend of mine and former mayor of Lake Villa, Frank M. Lafredo, who at 78 years old passed away last Wednesday, October 18th, 2023. Mayor Frank was born January 15th, 1945 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His family moved to Illinois, where he graduated from Waukegan High School and then Southern Illinois University with a Bachelor's of Science degree. He clearly loved being at school as he continued with his Master's of Business from the Governor State University and worked on his doctoral.
Excuse me, Representative. Members, please. Please continue.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Where he continued to work on his doctoral of education at Vanderbilt and was completing a dissertation which included a dental technology manual for the deaf and hard of hearing. On March 16th, 1968, Frank Lafredo married Carol Jean Ham at St. Martin Catholic Church in Washington Park, Illinois, and together moved to Lake Villa in 1970. He worked as a professor and department chair teaching dental technology and prosthetics at Triton College. He finally retired from education after 35 years from Triton College. He started his public service with the Village of Lake Villa as a planning commissioner in 1978. He then was elected as a village trustee in 1985, and then elected mayor in 1993. Mayor Frank served as a total of 24 years as mayor of Lake Villa until he retired in 2017. While Mayor Frank Lafredo took on many projects to improve the community he loved so much, he oversaw the building of the metro station, the purchase and restoration of the Lehman Mansion, and development of the community baseball complex. Mayor Lafredo received the Businessman of the Year award in recognition for his ongoing community development and commercial projects, and even received the village recognition of his service by naming of the Frank Lafredo Park. Frank is survived by his wife Carol of 55 years, their sons James Lafredo and Joseph Megan Lafredo, and their grandchildren Maxwell and Jesse Lafredo. Frank will always be remembered as a friend who cared about the community and everyone who lived in Lake Villa and the area. Frank, you will be missed, and I would ask this chamber to please take a moment of silence.
Members, a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Leader McCombie, for what reason do you seek recognition?
Madam Speaker, just a moment, please. We've had a few death resolutions or comments of people that have died, and just a quorum of the chamber, just a friendly reminder. I know it's very loud in here sometimes, and you do a great job of calling it to our attention, but if everybody would have some respect for the chamber and for the member who's speaking on both sides of the aisle, that we pay attention and stand up in respect, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. On page 2 of the calendar, bills on second reading. House Bill 4148 offered by Speaker Welch. Chair recognizes Leader Kiker.
Madam Speaker, the Republicans would request an immediate caucus.
Representative, how long will you need for your caucus?
As long as it takes. Shouldn't be too long. Half an hour, 45 minutes, we hope.
The Republicans will caucus for 45 minutes-ish in room 118. And the House will stand in recess to the call of the chair.